The city buzzed with its familiar morning rhythm. A woman heading to work spotted a small figure at a bus stop, a constant presence day after day, regardless of the weather. Intrigued, she decided to approach the boy, eager to uncover the story behind his unwavering vigil. What she discovered was a tale unlike any other. Eric, the boy at the bus stop, revealed a heartbreaking story. He wasn't just waiting for any bus, but for his father, a driver on this very route. The woman, confused by why Eric wouldn't wait at home, pressed for an explanation. Eric confided that his father, a devoted family man, had vanished a week ago. He left for work last Wednesday, Eric shared with the woman who now sat beside him, but never came home. He described his mother's frantic search, the unanswered calls, the posters plastered everywhere. Work says he finished his route, but he hasn't been back since. Eric finished, his voice tight, despair clouding his eyes as he muttered, "Where could Dad be?" He explained it was Christmas break, a time his friends spent playing in the snow. But Eric couldn't enjoy the holidays. Here he sat, clinging to hope at the bus stop, his only solace the faint possibility his father might appear. "Dad's route brings him here 10 times a day," Eric told the woman. "Mom's calling everyone. Even the police are searching. But I can't just sit at home. Maybe his bus will pull up here after all." The next part of the story would be shocking. For over a week, Eric remained at the stop, returning home only for sleep and a meager meal. Despite his mother's pleas, he peppered everyone who passed by with the same question, "Have you seen my dad?" An elderly woman, Janet, her heart touched by Eric's plight, offered her help. Together, they embarked on a desperate search. The bus depot and police station yielded nothing, but hope flickered on as they continued. Janet remembered Eric mentioning his father's route home. They drove it relentlessly, disappointment their only companion. Suddenly, Janet recalled a dangerous turn after mile marker 241. With blizzards raging, she feared the worst, an accident. Janet and Eric alerted the police. Together, they reached the bend. Skid marks and the telltale signs of a car leaving the road confirmed Janet's suspicion. Divers plunged into the icy lake, locating Eric's father's car at the bottom. Thankfully, it was empty, but a horrifying question hung heavy. Where was Eric's father? The police hoisted the car from the icy depths, searching for any sign of Eric's father. A weak, submerged window boded well, but Eric, clinging to a sliver of hope, spoke up. Dad always came prepared. He kept a backpack in the trunk with blankets, food, and a tarp. If it wasn't there, it means he had time to grab them before the car sank. A shaky breath escaped Eric's lips. He could still be alive out there. Jerry, Eric's father, was potentially facing a week of brutal winter elements, with temperatures dipping to -10. It was a desperate scenario. Little did they know, the most crucial clue was yet to be found. The investigation at the crash site continued, but Officer Tyler's world was about to be flipped. The search helicopter had scoured the vast landscape for hours. If someone had escaped the icy water, they could be anywhere. Then, on that fateful afternoon, a single clue emerged, altering everything. Roughly 2.5 miles from the wreckage, a giant SOS etched in the snow stood out against the white canvas. Beside it, a figure waved frantically at the hovering chopper. Could it be Jerry? Was this the answer Eric had been desperately waiting for? The police wasted no time, landing the helicopter and rushing towards the lone figure. Disappointment washed over them as they approached. It wasn't Jerry. The man, weathered and old, explained a chance encounter while walking his dog in the harsh landscape. He stumbled upon a makeshift tent, clearly abandoned but still well-stocked. The owner couldn't be far, he reasoned, his eyes crinkling at the corners. This happened a few days ago. Then, I saw your helicopter searching. I figured that giant SOS in the snow might get your attention. After all, I might have some good news. Intrigued, the man led Janet, Eric, and the officers to his ramshackle home nestled deep in the desolate landscape. Janet couldn't help but wonder how anyone could live so isolated. Inside, the old man began weaving his tale. After finding the tent, I spent days searching for its owner, returning to see if any clues remained. But there was nothing. Imagine my shock when I walked into my own home and found. He paused, leaving them hanging with bated breath. The lock clicked open, revealing the answer to their desperate search. Inside the dimly lit shack, A figure sat bathed in the golden glow from a single lamp. It was Jerry, Eric's father. The 45-year-old bus driver looked frail, his body racked with shivers, but a radiant smile lit up his weathered face. "Jerry," Officer Tyler exclaimed, relief flooding his features. "What happened? Why didn't you contact us?" Gary, the old man who found Jerry, stepped forward. "I live a solitary life," he explained. "No phone, no internet, just me and nature." He described how his sister brought him supplies once a month from the nearest village, 7 miles away. The officers finally understood the communication gap. Eric, overjoyed at seeing his father alive, needed no explanation. But Jerry's wife back home still suffered under a cloud of worry. It was time to end her torment. The phone rang, its persistent tone breaking the silence. Tears welled up in Jerry's wife's eyes as she answered. The officer's voice, filled with relief, confirmed the news. They found Jerry, thanks to Eric and Janet's help. 30 minutes later, the helicopter landed. Tears streamed down Jerry's wife's face as she finally embraced her husband, and Eric, their son, squeezed them both tightly in a hug. Their reunion painted a heartwarming picture of family reunited. Gary, the quiet hermit who saved Jerry's life, became a silent hero. Every year, the family invited him and Janet to celebrate Christmas together, a small token of immense gratitude for a life saved and a love story rekindled. As Gary said, "It's the only time I leave my woodshed, but for Jerry and his family, I'm happy to do it."